Okay, welcome to Enchanted Moments Podcast. I'm Monica.
I'm Spencer.
This is Creme Brulee. You never know, we may have Tank later, but they don't like each other, so it would be one or the other. We don't share space.
They don't.
They don't share space. I'm going to do a brief introduction. Why we can do this and talk about spirituality and religion, etc. And why things are important or not important. I've been around a long time. I'm the older version of this, and I started pursuing spiritual study when I was a child because I had past life visions. And when I talked to my mother about it, she said, "Oh, your grandmother did that." So it was never something that I was afraid of or told not to do. Mm-hmm. So I didn't lose that ability. It's important to recognize that our whole life is a learning experience. But I started probably looking at different spiritual topics and paths when I was in high school and never stopped. Ended up studying with a lot of very special teachers. I did Jnana Yoga with a teacher for almost 5 years. I studied with another internationally known psychic and author for 4 years. I was ordained in Hope Ministries, and I was also initiated as a priestess in the Sisterhood of the Silver Branch. And I have a master's in pastoral family counseling and 35 years in corporate America. So that test probably was one of the most extensive learning experiences that you'll ever have. I had a wonderful best friend from the time I was 22 years old, and we did a lot of developing and studying together. We started 2 different businesses, Enchanted Needle, which was Wicca-related needlework. We had 30 designs, and it was called Enchanted Needle. And at the same time, we had been tossing back and forth about opening a retail shop where people could investigate their spiritual paths and feel safe and nurtured by not only offering a space for that to get things to be part of their lives, but to also take classes and learn new things. And we did that in 2004. So, and we still are. So it's a lifelong experience, but I have lots of information that I've got in here somewhere, and hopefully that will help us in our podcasts and subjects that we want to talk about. And we also want people to let us know what they want to find out about, because we're happy to speak about things that we actually can. If there's something you want to know we don't know anything about, we're more than happy to admit we don't know anything about it. I certainly don't know it all, that's for sure. But yeah, Spencer was stuck with his lovely mother, who was my best friend. And we did terrible things to him, like made him carry a Yule log around the family room when we did our first Yule celebration when he was a little kid. So, and I don't even think you remember it. It was that early in your life. But yeah, he's been exposed to tons of information.
Yeah. My mom left us in 2021. So I assumed the mantle of the shop as well. I've only recently started my journey and just trying to find out what it is. Yeah, so I'm just here to learn right along the rest of you and hopefully ask the right questions or the wrong questions.
There aren't any wrong questions.
True. Only wrong. No,
and your path started a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just starting to design your journey.
Yes.
As opposed to just living the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're participating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a nice way to think about it.
Yeah.
Because we all have the journey, whether we are mentally aware of what the journey is.
Yeah.
But then at some point we start to actually participate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, doesn't matter when we do that. When you're kids, when you're adults, when you get old, there's no limit. And sometimes it just takes people longer than others.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes our souls just need a break.
Mm.
So, it doesn't need to do any work or experience anything. It's just kind of going with the flow and living life on the good side, So there is no time when you're supposed to get started or not started. So
True.
Yeah, we can't pass judgment on that. It's a very personal decision that your soul and you make together.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he does just fine. A lot more like his mom than wants to think.
Oh no, I'm pretty aware now.
But yes, we honor everyone who has been part of our journey and our
Mm-hmm.
spiritual journey every single day, because we wouldn't be where we are without them. That's for
Mm-hmm.
sure. That's for sure.
The good, the bad, all of it.
Yeah, everybody in your group, your soul group, your group of friends, your spiritual friends, religious friends, they push you in certain
Mm-hmm.
directions and cause us to have to think. And so that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good thing. I think Robin and I went to Salem for embroidery symposiums 6 years in a row at the Peabody Essex Museum, and not only learned an incredible amount about needle art and embroidery, but we also learned a lot about where we wanted to be spiritually by hanging out in a place where it was a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was, the journey started in that area because of a shared interest in needle art,
Mm-hmm.
not spirituality for the most part. So
Chasing joy.
yeah, we found other things as we were experiencing and experimenting with our creative side. So yeah, you just never know what life is going to give you when you're not looking.
Sometimes that's when you find things, is when you're not looking.
Well, sometimes it's the best way.
Yeah.
Can't hurt. We have 2 cats. Tank is somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he's taking a nap. Creme is here because she's a pretty princess and she likes to be on camera, obviously. So we'll just acknowledge her. We had 2 wonderful spiritual kitties that came through our door when they were kittens and stayed for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they were an inspiration in many ways. These 2 may be a challenge in many ways. So we went from inspiration to challenge. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody plays a part. So if you have questions about our backgrounds or questions about why we think the way we do, feel free. We have a website, and these will be posted on our website, enchantedmomentsshop.com.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to access our blog, podcasts, video podcasts on Spotify and YouTube. So feel free to leave comments or questions there, and we will try to respond as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, and we will be seeing you on the podcast.
Yeah.